Best places to buy a home. Home prices still too high. And spring market is warming up. Ding!
Next on Real Estate News You Can Use. Welcome to Real Estate News You Can Use. What's up, Keith?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
I'm doing
Great.
Excellent,
Good.
actually.
What a beautiful day it is today.
Beautiful day. Like I mentioned earlier, we might have to change where we do our filming.
I'd have to go outside in the field and run around.
Right on the beach.
Hi, Keith Carberry, live from Quincy ball field. Something like that.
I'm sure it'll be a lot better than where we do it now.
You know, unfortunately, by the beach, it's a little too windy, and I don't know if we'd be able to pick it up. But I'd love to be able to do it down on Carson Beach in South Boston. That'd be a great place to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's get to work.
If this is your first time on the podcast, we are an audio and video podcast, which brings real estate news that you can use to you every 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
What we do is pick 3 articles concerning the real estate and mortgage industry and whatever is related, and give you our spin on them, give you our commentary, and not only that, provide you the articles so you can read them yourself at renewsyoucanuse.com.
That sounds pretty darn good.
That sounds like a pretty darn good concept.
It is a darn good concept. You know what? We talked about this earlier today. The articles that we read, they're so snapshot-ish. They're always like a snapshot of what basically has happened up until today.
What we're doing is filling in the gaps.
We are filling the gap. We're taking what the writers write and we're bringing it forward and extrapolating that and adding other factors to go along with the article.
Speaking of that, let's just start talking about the articles. The first one is from cnnmoney.com. The best places to buy a home these days, and not necessarily maybe the best place to buy, but it's the best place to buy as opposed regarding where home prices have kind of stabilized, right, and they will not go down. So let's run through these 6 cities.
Let's
Keith,
go.
Take the first one.
Atlanta. Average home price in Alpharetta is $359,950. Frenzied home building here has stalled, which should start to reduce the area's large supply of vacant housing and propel prices upward.
I used to live in Atlanta. That's a great city to live in.
Yep.
Definitely would recommend it. Number 2 on this list, Boston.
Boston, yes.
Yes.
Tell me about Boston.
Well, it's one of the first cities to experience the downturn, but is apparently one of the first cities to experiencing the upturn.
Yes.
In the last quarter of 2007, prices actually rose 1%.
Wow. I think my sheet's a little bit different than yours, so I'm going to go to the next one, which for me is Cincinnati, Ohio, obviously. And it says here that the Cincinnati... excuse me, I lied. Never mind.
Don't lie. No, it says
Cincinnati. Now I'm in Cincinnati.
Manufacturing heavy economy benefits from the falling dollar. So that's a good reason to buy it in Cincinnati.
And in Cleveland, ground zero for foreclosures. It really was the ground zero for foreclosures. Seems to be benefiting from all the plans that help the troubled borrowers. All the Fed plans that are taking
like
into
you said,
action.
Keith. I mean, a lot of these federal government plans are helping, and obviously it's helping in Cleveland.
It's already helping in Cleveland, so that's one place that's helping. I'm sure there are other places.
This place which is very surprising to a lot of people, Detroit. Probably one of the hardest hit cities like Cleveland. Mm-hmm. However, one thing that CNN Money states is that the price to rent ratio is 15, which means that for every dollar that you spend to buy a house, you can rent it out for, for every $15 you spend to buy a house, you can rent out earn $1 renting. So basically, for a $215,000 home in Detroit, you can rent it out for almost $1,200.
Right, and the opposite, and the average is 23. The average price to rent.
Average price to rent ratio is 23. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so every $23 you spend, you get $1 back.
So basically, if you buy something in Detroit, you could feel comfortable that you can rent it out.
Yeah,
and make them and not be in the red.
I think that that is interesting about the. It also is basically saying that the rent in Detroit is high comparative to other cities, because if you extrapolate it backwards in the ratios, the rent income is a lot less in other areas.
That's right. Last place, Houston, because of oil prices, doing well.
Obviously.
So, okay. So, check out the full article yourself, renewsyoucanuse.com.
Yeah, go have at it.
The second article is from bankrate.com. Home prices still high for the average family, obviously.
You know, I don't really believe this. I think this is an old article that was just written. I do agree that that prices were high.
Yeah.
And they've given ratios. Basically, one of the ratios that they give, Ruben, is that in the year 2000, there was a 129% of the income. You had 129% of the income necessary to pay to buy a house, and in 2007 that number was 105% basically to buy a house. So yes, it is more difficult to buy a house based on the average income, but that was June of 2007. I think it's gone back up a little bit. It might be 110, 115. So things are getting better, but this article does not talk about that.
Yes, no, definitely. But I mean, if you can.
It's not as good to buy a house.
Year 2000 to 2008,
yes.
Obviously there's no comparison whatsoever.
Right, yes,
I mean,
completely.
It totally blows it out of the water.
Yeah, it's much more. It's not as attractive to buy a house now compared to the year 2000.
I mean, think about it. You had 25% more income in the year 2000.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
To buy a house.
Yeah, that's pretty significant.
That's pretty darn significant. And for someone to, I don't know, it just.
So I mean, I'd have $1.25.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Like almost like you were living in Canada when the going was good.
Eh?
Buying a home with American dollars.
Here's a good article.
This is an awesome article.
Ruben, we've been talking about things that are turning around, and there's another indication that things are turning around. It's basically two articles in one. At the beginning of the article, it talks about how the hottest game in town, let's see.
Applications went up.
Applications up 15.2% for mortgages, which is an indication, because applications are up, that the housing sales are going up shortly.
Yeah, this is something pretty interesting too. Is that national study out of the University of Michigan says that a major percentage of homeowners who believe that homes are attractively priced hit a record high.
Right.
So basically, a lot of people believe that it is the right time to buy.
Right. So Ruben, this is the first part of the article. So it's the right time to buy. People are all excited about it. The second part of the article talks about, well, as it might be maybe the right time to buy, indications show from the same university that there's a huge fear that there's going to be a recession, and in fact the negativism that there might be a recession is the highest it's ever been since 1981-82 when there was a recession. In addition to that, there are new changes that are taking place in the condo market where it's much more difficult to get a loan.
Yes.
So while things are looking great for single family homes, tough for the condo market, big time. Really tough.
Obviously, with the condo boom that we've had in the past 5 years, I mean that's big trouble.
It is big trouble.
You know, a lot of people aren't
with a capital T, and I mean trouble.
No,
how's that go?
I mean, and that could be as soon as May 1st. Keith says that
right, May 1st, where the changes to take place. They've already taken place, and they just haven't announced it yet. You know, banks are basically doing a redlining on condos.
I know. Is that fair?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I mean,
condos have always been a strange market to invest in. There's always been different things that you need. You know, for instance, that 6D certificate is always something that's an issue.
Condo document.
All the condo documents. And the other thing, Ruben, in this article that really ticked me off as a realtor is that the investors want to hold us liable to make sure that the condo docs are in order, and that we as realtors hold on to those condo docs for, I believe, 7 years. And if there is something wrong with those condo docs, we as realtors are liable, not the bank.
Are you furious?
I'm furious. I don't have enough time to read 100 pages. I mean, we read 1,000 pages a week just for this bloody show. You know.
Get mad. Get really mad.
I'm gonna get even. Yeah.
Check out the full article.
All right, I'll get mad.
Check out the full article at renewsyoucanuse.com. Until next time, I'm Ruben.
I'm Keith.
Make it a great day.
Stay classy, America.